welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, tomorrow marks a significant day in South African history as we remember and commemorate the passing of anti-apartheid icon and struggle hero Stephen Biko, who died in police custody on the 12th of September 1977 at the age of 30. Now, despite the fact that his life was so needlessly cut short, Biko's legacy lives on in the hearts of many South Africans. And with us on the line to chat about this important day in South Africa's history is CEO of the Steve Biko Foundation, Obanewa Mponsa. Good morning, Obanewa.
Good morning, Leigh-anne. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so good to have you on our Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, this morning, as we remember the incredible sacrifices Steve Biko made for those born free who have no memory of the struggles of heroes like Biko and are looking for an icon to look up to, what can they learn from the legacy of Steve Biko?
I think the most important thing that not only young people can learn from Steve Biko's legacy, but really all of us, is this idea of self-reliance and activism. That yes, there might be things that are wrong in our society and societies around the world, but that we each have both the right and the responsibility to do something about that.
Absolutely.
Obanewa, good morning from my side as well. It's Graham here. I'm sitting with you and in the studio as well with Leigh-anne. Obviously a very important day in our history, but equally as important to make sure that we translate these sacrifices, these ideals into a way that our new generation can emulate it. What are you guys going to be doing to highlight the way that he lived his life, but to transfer that mentality to the current generation of South Africans?
Well, in the spirit of Steve Biko's legacy, Graham, on a daily basis at the Steve Biko Foundation, we pursue what I call the 3 C's. The first is consciousness. Who am I? The second is community. What is my place in the world? And thirdly, core skills. And those are things that we work with young people, both in South Africa and around the international community, to address. And we do that through programs in arts and culture, education, sports, community health, as well as social development broadly. And so we do a lot of work to really help young people understand who they are and what are the contributions that they could be making to society. But we also help them find and develop the skills to fulfill their dreams.
Obanewa, good morning from our side, you and here. You know what, I'm so glad we're taking this time just to remember this great man. But, you know, the fact remains South Africa has changed quite a lot since Biko's passing in 1977, and lots needs to still be done. What do you think would Steve Biko's wish have been if he was still around, you know, specifically pertaining to the youth in terms of what still needs to be done in South Africa?
I think that his message to the youth would really be about what is it that they can do. I think the message of Black consciousness was fundamentally about the self. It was about transforming the self, overcoming both superiority for those who were privileged, overcoming inferiority for those who were disadvantaged, and then looking together to find the solutions to create the type of society that we want to see. And I think that Biko's philosophy was very important and remains relevant today, because although it does certainly speak to the individual, it also speaks to society at large, how we change, how we decolonize, how we remake a new society that we all think is most relevant. And so I think that he would consistently encourage people really to be engaged. Don't just sit around, you know, at Sunday lunches and on talk shows and things like that, but really do the work of creating the society that we say that we all want to live in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us, Obanewa, and thank you so much for your words of encouragement today. I think all of us as South Africans need to take that to heart, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great Friday.
Absolutely. You too. That was Obanewa Mponsa, the CEO of the Steve Biko Foundation. And as she said, we should all just take a moment today to just sit and reflect on the incredible struggle hero that was Steve Biko, and all the others who have kind of given us the opportunity to enjoy the freedoms that we have today. So that was absolutely amazing. It is time for us to head over to the world of news, and Zoe has the details.